Should we be concerned? With a little over 2 weeks left until Cedar Point's opening day, we need to discuss some of the biggest concerns and possible flaws surrounding Top Thrill 2. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Coaster Freak Jr. and today we're going to be going over some of the biggest concerns as well as some of the biggest excitements surrounding Top Thrill 2. I'm going to give you guys my personal opinions and thoughts about Top Thrill 2 ahead of opening weekend for Cedar Point, and I want you guys to leave your biggest concerns and your biggest excitements down below in the comment section. The first concern I want to talk about is something that we discussed previously on this channel, which is going to be capacity. Now, Top Thrill 2 is going to have a lower rider per hour capacity compared to Top Thrill Dragster. Now, how is that going to translate to wait times and how long it actually takes to get on the ride is yet to be determined. We won't really know that until we see Top Thrill 2 operating at full capacity during the operational season, but it does leave a lot of room for concern, especially considering the fact that Top Thrill 2 has a swing launch, which Top Thrill Dragster did not. Also, Top Thrill 2's trains are shorter than the original Top Thrill Dragster trains. Now, correct me if I'm mistaken, I do not know the number off the top of my head, but it's between 1 to 2 rows shorter than the original Top Thrill Dragster trains, which also brings in more concern as far as capacity and how many riders per hour you're actually getting on the ride. Another big thing that we have to remember is that this ride is being reimagined, or excuse me, was reimagined by Zamperla, not the original creators of the ride, Intamin. In which, remember, when we first found out, when it was originally rumored that it was going to be Zamperla and then officially confirmed by Cedar Point themselves, that was a shock to all of us. We were all shocked to find out that it was not Intamin, but in fact Zamperla reimagining Top Thrill Dragster. Now again, that doesn't mean that that's a bad thing. I'm not saying that this roller coaster is going to be a bad ride or it's going to be unreliable, but we have to remember that Zamperla has never worked on a roller coaster, on a ride, on a project of this magnitude, of this sheer size and complication like Top Thrill Dragster. Now, Cedar Point could open on May 9th and everything, Cedar Point could open on May 4th and everything could just go smoothly with no problems at all, and Top Thrill 2 becomes the best roller coaster for 2024. But again, considering the fact that Zamperla has never undertaken a project of this size before, that does leave room for concern, which brings me to my next point: reliability. Reliability and capacity is going to go hand in hand with each other, just as it did on the old Top Thrill Dragster. It doesn't matter how good a ride is, how amazing it is, and how many riders per hour it can pump out if it's only operating 2 or 3 hours out of the day. Top Thrill 2 is going to have to be 100 times more reliable than the original Dragster for this ride to even be considered a success, for it to even come close to the same rider capacity per hour that the original Dragster had. Now, you can make the argument, again, because like I said, there was days that the original Dragster only operated 2 or 3 hours the whole entire day. There was days they would open up and shut down 5 minutes later for the rest of the day. Reliability was a big problem. So you can make the argument that Top Thrill 2 might not have the same amount of capacity and it might not pump out the same amount of riders per hour as the original Dragster, but it makes up for it in reliability by being open and more rideable more days, more hours out of the day, more days out of the year, which makes perfect sense. But again, will Top Thrill 2 even be reliable to begin with? Because Cedar Point is taking a huge wild card with this one, going with Zamperla. Now, with Cedar Point, with the merger of Cedar Point and Six Flags, there is a possibility that we might see Cedar Point and Intamin working together later down the road, which is actually kind of surprising that they did not have Intamin come in here, considering the fact that they already were working on the merger. So you thought that Six Flags having that relationship with Intamin would have maybe had a positive effect on the reimagined process of Top Thrill Dragster, but you know, we don't really know how all those cars were being turned behind the closed doors, so I digress. But staying on topic here, again, reliability and capacity are two major concerns for Top Thrill 2 ahead of opening weekend. Which brings me to my last and final concerns of the video, the layout. Now, how amazing is this layout truly going to be? We see the 420-foot tall spike. We see the reverse launch at 101 miles per hour. We see the forward launch at 120 miles per hour. But like, is the criticism that it's already getting valid? Is this really just another one-trick pony with another one trick added? Did we turn a one-trick pony into a two-trick pony? Which is still, compared to the other rides they have in the amusement park at Cedar Point, two-trick ponies are really not that exciting. We took away the hydraulic launch, which was literally the best launch in the world. It was the best part about Dragster. We still have the top hat. People love it. 420 feet in the air, beyond vertical drop, 90-degree drop with a beyond 120-degree twist at the bottom. Correct me if I'm wrong. But we took away the best part about Dragster and we add a first launch of 74 miles per hour, which is the launch on Maverick. It's not a bad launch, but compared to 120 in 3 seconds, it's very, very mild. And then we were promised a rollback, which we don't even get 50% up the top hat before we start rolling back. So again, another disappointment there. A disappointing first launch, a disappointing quote-unquote rollback into, now hold on, 101 launch in reverse. That's pretty powerful. We don't know how that will feel coming off of that rollback. I mean, you know, if you've ridden similar rides and had similar experiences, you probably will have an idea, but it could be different. And then we go into obviously the main attraction of Top Thrill 2, the main selling point, what everybody's either disappointed or highly excited about, the spike. The vertical spike that's 420 feet tall, but yet you don't even reach the 400-foot mark on the spike. So again, the layout to the general public is going to seem like the most crazy invention ever. But to everyday coaster riders and coaster enthusiasts alike, are we truly excited for this layout? Is this layout the best possible one that they could have reimagined for Dragster? And is it going to really be intense? Because that's what we loved about Top Thrill Dragster, was the intensity. From start to finish, it was an adrenaline-inducing, intense ride. Now, I know coming off of that, I know that backwards launch is going to be intense. I know coming from that free fall on that 420 spike is going to be intense. But what is the intensity? What is the intensity going to be like as far as pacing is concerned? Is it going to be a dull first half with an intense second half? Or is it going to be exciting from start to finish? Layout, capacity, and reliability are the three biggest question marks concerning Top Thrill 2 ahead of opening weekend. Now let's talk about some of the excitement I have for Top Thrill 2, which we're going to keep the attention directly on the layout, which of course, my biggest excitement is the spike itself. I mean, 420 feet, even if we're not reaching the 400-foot mark, is still very, very insane. It is the world's largest spike. Reverse spike on a full circuit multi-launch roller coaster, in Cedar Point's own words. That sounds very exciting, and I anticipate to be very exciting and very intense, and I expect that spike to be the best drop, or at least the best free fall in the whole entire park, and arguably the whole entire world. Now again, I did have the criticism and concerns as far as consistency and pacing goes, but I am very excited for the spike. I'm also very excited for that reverse launch, because the good thing on the flip side about having a 75 mile per hour launch from a standstill is that you're going to have that immediate kickback on that reverse launch, which is going to be my personal most intense reverse launch that I have experienced. I think that's going to be a very good taste, a very good teaser to what you're going to experience coming off of that spike. Now I know we're supposed to be talking about the excitements now, but just one last small concern is, what is that transition like coming off of that spike into that 120 mile per hour launch? Are you going to hit 120 miles per hour coming off the spike, or are you actually going to feel the LSMs kick in once again? Now, what is that intensity like? What is the G-force going to feel like? According to Tony, it's unimaginable. But we know sometimes he's telling the truth, sometimes he's not, so we won't know until we actually ride it. But I am very excited for that reverse launch. And of course, maybe this is something that's gone a little unnoticed to you guys. I don't know how much you've been watching the testing videos, but I'm excited for the top hat. And you're probably thinking, well, they didn't change the top hat besides a quick paint job. Which is true. It did not get taller, it did not get shorter, it stayed the exact same. But these trains, in these tests at least, even with the water dummies, I don't know how it's going to operate on opening day, but these trains have been flying over the top hat like no one's business. In every single test video I've seen of Top Thrill 2, the trains are absolutely just zooming over that top hat. It's not a slow crawl, it's not a little bit of or are we gonna make it? No, it's just literally just boom, 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 who's your daddy? Like, there's no time to even process what's going on by the time you get up to that top hat. So I am very excited because I'm looking forward to lots of ejector air time on that top hat going down, because I mean, if it's gonna run like anything we've seen during the test videos, then that might be the best part of the ride. And I mean, they added a 420-foot vertical spike. But those are just some of my personal thoughts and opinions surrounding Top Thrill 2 as far as my biggest concerns and biggest excitements. Now I want you guys to go to the comment section below and tell me what your biggest concerns and biggest excitements are for Top Thrill 2, especially since we only have a little bit over 2 weeks left until opening day. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. I love you guys and hope you have a wonderful day. I'm out. Peace.